What's up, everybody? Peepo again, and today's Method Monday is actually going to be about something that some people have been asking me about because basically a lot of people are breaking their heads right now. Mainly because it's so cold out, or even when it's hot out, it happens. People break their heads. And with traditionals, usually the old concept is you directly connect it to the plastic, just like candy here, my own personal one that I entered into the break-in competition, where you connect the leathers directly to the scoop, and that can become a problem because when it's when the head breaks, what are you going to do? You can't really. There's a couple concepts to where you can actually remove the pocket and put it into a new head, but then it requires tape or a little bit of finesse with string, and you don't want to have to go through that when the head breaks. So, a while back, there was this thing that was made that was pretty ingenious, which is called a removable top string, and it's some people will call it a teardrop top string or something like that, but it's removable. It's just like a mesh pocket, except for it's a traditional. Now all it does is connect with a piece of string. Usually you want to use a sidewall string or a top string, which is usually a little thicker, and that's actually what I used for this one. And all it does is directly connects the leather of the pocket to the plastic with a piece of string, just like mesh to the plastic in a mesh pocket. And it allows you to be able to transfer your pocket to a new head or the same exact head when the head breaks. And a lot of people are starting to get into using that, and I figured since people were asking me a lot about it, I'm going to go over this one of the more simple concepts to do it. There's about 5 reliable ones that I know of, but this is the main one that I use because it's just so simple. And if you're not really a traditional stringer but you have a traditional pocket, it's easy for you to take your mesh stringing skills and apply it to this. It's very, very simple. So that's just an example how it's going to look once it's done. And I already have 2 of them installed, but we're going to be installing these next 2, and that's basically going to be this video, guys. Uh, it This idea, again, is supposed to be for when the head breaks, and when that happens, sometimes it'll break at the top or the side or whatever, making the head illegal. Uh, this is actually same kind of problems with this as if it were a mesh pocket, because the abrasion of the ground, the dirt, the concrete, whatever is going against your head, going against the scoop, it's going to affect the pocket the same way as if it was a mesh pocket. So just keep that in mind when you are doing this. So you just to kind of start it off, talk about it, is you're going to want to do it through your top sidewall hole. So where your top string would be normally going through. And so you're going to go through that first sidewall hole right there, and then you're going to go through, and we're just going to pretend that these 2 aren't done. But so, very simple concept. All you're going to do, first off, is when you have your leathers, I'll show you this real quick. With a removable top string, you don't need to have, you don't need to have your 2-hole concept where, like with mine is, where it has the both 2 holes still on in the leathers being used. With a removable, if you do it correctly, like if you use this transition, the scoop transition that I talked about in one of my previous videos, with a scoop transition, if you do that properly with a single, it will work out very favorably. So what you want is you want your smooth side, okay, as if it's going to be the side that's touching the ball. Smooth side's facing you guys. You're going to take your bottom end where it's all angled and everything, and you're going to take it back through that hole and pull it through, and you want your loop to look like that, okay? Just nice simple little loop. Now you're going to take your string and you're actually going to feed it through the front of the scoop, okay? just like we're doing a mesh pocket. Feed it through the front of the scoop, loop it down through the tail end of that loop, tighten it as tight as you can. Okay, see how that is? You're going to hold that in place with your finger. Okay, now we're going to take our leather. We're going to feed the string through that loop of the leather so that the flat, smooth side of the leather is facing where the ball is going to be going. So let me get this in there. And then you're going to come from the back side of the plastic through to the front and loop it back through. And pushing the leather as close as you can to your finger that's holding the string already. And you're going to pull it tight. And then you're going to adjust the leather so that it's not pinched under anything. But that's how it's going to look. Just like these two previous ones, that's how it's going to look. Now I'm going to do it one more time. My leather is prepped. Feed it through the front of the plastic. Tighten it down. Just like that. And you can hold it with your finger if you want, but I usually don't have to because I tighten it down so well. And feed the string through the leather. From the back to the front of the plastic and back through that loop. Tighten it down. And that's how it's going to look. Okay? And then all you do is you take the string and go through that other top hole and tie it off. Just a single knot. Don't have to do anything super fancy or anything like that. Just nice and simple. Just a single overhand knot. And then you can cut away however much so you have it matching this side. That's usually what I do. And then you set up the leathers just like you would as if it was a regular pocket. Whether you go from the top down method or wrap around from the bottom method that I've gone over also. And you continue on with the pocket as if it's connected to the plastic, and then you go into your sidewalls and so on. So again, this method is supposed to be so that you can switch out your pocket and keep that same feeling pocket. It's going to change just a little bit. That's the thing that a lot of people don't realize, is that if you don't put it into the same exact head, if you're transferring the pocket, it is not going to feel exactly the same. You're going to have to adjust the leathers a little bit here and there depth wise, and then you're going to have to mess with the outer tracks connecting to the sidewalls. You're going to have to mess with those a little bit so that you get them properly done. But so just keep that in mind. All the videos that I've done so far play in to everything that I'm going to be saying from this point forward. Everything's going to tie in together. You can't just take one concept and not work on the other. So have the patience and deal with that. Just a quick announcement before I end this video, and I actually just got these in yesterday, and they are my new stickers. They are actually my new stickers, and I'm really excited for this, and I'm really happy I got them. One is my crest with customs and spawn of Peepo with cross sticks, real sweet, and then a very large, enlarged version of the little emblem at the bottom of it to be nice and big. So those are going to be I'm going to kind of mix match them whenever I get